Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for October 7th, 2024. I'm your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live 1 hour earlier from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Monday evenings, wherever you may be. You know, there is always an entertaining aspect about the social media, online, internet wrestling community, man, when things like tonight happen, or nights like Bad Blood happen. There's so much discourse on social media. We live in a day and age where everybody's opinion gets magnified and everyone has a say in literally everything. Some people have logical, sane, down-to-earth, grounded takes. Some people are simply engagement farming, don't know right from wrong, don't know up from down, don't know apples from oranges. Some of these people don't know anything. All I heard today was, I don't want Monday Night Raw to move to 2 hours. It should stay a 3-hour show. It needs to remain 3 hours. This is a mistake. I don't know why you want 2-hour Raws, JD. Or in the social media geek's voice, well, I don't know why JD from New York wants 2-hour Raws, man. The roster can't handle a 2-hour Raw. These are the same people asking for a 3-hour Dynamite. And we all know that shouldn't happen. That's all I heard today. Why do you want Monday Night Raw at 2 hours? It should remain 3 hours. This is a mistake. This roster needs 3 hours. Blah, 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 blah. Opportunities, blah, blah, blah. Women, blah, blah. You know, a lot of these fans, I get it. I got gray in the beard. I'm not old by any stretch. I may look it, but I'm not. A lot of these fans are new-aged fans. A lot of these fans have been watching the show for the last couple of years, if that, maybe. These are new age fans who just started watching the product, got into the community because they got nobody else to call friends, no other hobbies in life. They want to get on board with how popular pro wrestling is nowadays. Then you got people like me and the fine people that I surround myself with. I've been watching this shit since the mid-'80s, man. I've been watching WWE for a very long time. I was there from the very first episode of Monday Night Raw when it was 1 hour on the USA Network. When they had the Ico Pro banners hanging in the Manhattan Center and they had the Raw siren going off and Damian Demento was coming out to wrestle The Undertaker on the very first Monday Night Raw. I have been with Monday Night Raw since day one. then we get to 12 years ago. Monday Night Raw takes the unfortunate turn of going to 3 hours. 3. I asked, why? Why are we ruining a good thing, man? Why are we ruining a good thing? 3-hour Monday Night Raws started 12 years ago in July of 2012. I asked it then, I'm going to ask it now. Why did we need to go to 3 hours? A lot of these people just started watching the show. A lot of these people do not know the horrors that we've had to sit through for the last 12 years. They don't get it. They don't understand it. They never will get it. Over the last 12 years, Monday Night Raw has been the absolute worst wrestling show in all of pro wrestling. Monday Night Raw was so unwatchable that at one point, I contemplated not covering this show on a Monday night anymore until it got better. That's how bad it got. My OGs know that for a fact. You've been with me for a very, very, very long time. I said, fuck this shit, man. I'm not covering this shit live on Monday nights anymore. I'm going to wait till Tuesday. The energy that was sucked from out of my body watching a 3-hour Vince McMahon Monday Night Raw is something I never want to go back and feel ever again. Ever. 3-hour Monday Night Raws were the worst fucking show in the business. Nothing even came close. Then Vince goes away. Triple H takes over. Kind of. Vince comes back. Vince stays in control past WrestleMania 39. Triple H doesn't take over the company until November, December of 2023. Facts. Then all of a sudden, Monday Night Raw starts to change its color a little bit. Monday nights start to become less offensive. Monday Night Raw starts to become watchable. Monday Night Raw starts to become unpredictable. Monday Night Raw starts to become chaotic. Monday Night Raw starts to become pro wrestling again. You see, it's easy to sit there behind your keyboards. It's easy to sit there when no one knows what you look like as you stare at your computer screen with a fucking profile picture of Tetsuya Naito or some fucking pop singer that I've never seen before or a Dragon Ball Z character that probably resembles your aunt. But to sit there and claim 3-hour Monday Night Raws need to stay, no. No, Monday Night Raw at 3 hours never needed to be a thing, period. Now or 12 years ago. It's easy to sit there and want a 3-hour Monday Night Raw when the show is being booked by a logical, sensible administration that isn't Vince McMahon. But that doesn't mean we have to go back and do 3-hour Monday Night Raws every week. 2 hours is more than enough for a pro wrestling show. Do you see anybody asking for a 3-hour Dynamite? Does anybody in this business want a 3-hour Dynamite? Do you want a 3-hour AEW Dynamite on Wednesdays? I know for a simple fucking fact, because he's in the fucking chat right now, me and Jesse do not want a 3-hour fucking Dynamite. And we've been with AEW since day one. Before AEW was even a fucking business, we were with AEW. So why is this an issue now? Why is this an issue today with WWE fans? You do realize that at the end of the day, 2 hours, 3 hours, it makes no fucking difference. A good show is a good show. A good produced, good booked wrestling show is a good produced and booked pro wrestling show. Nothing pro wrestling related needs to be 3 hours. The only thing that should ever cross the 3-hour threshold is a special event, a pay-per-view, PLE. That is it. That is it. Jesse says, I don't want a 2-hour Dynamite at this point. Point proven. From one major pro wrestling fan to another. If the show is booked correctly, it doesn't matter what the show and the length is. 2 hours can be more effective than 3 hours. 3 hours normally goes too long. It's long in the tooth, as they say. You start to get a sense of wear and tear watching a 3-hour show. It doesn't need to be 3 hours. It needs to be good. For you guys to sit there and say, hey man, 2 hours is where it's at. But when you get a show like this tonight, when you get a show that felt rushed, when you get a show that's produced very middle-of-the-road mediocre pro wrestling, and a show that was absolutely fucking littered with commercial after commercial after commercial after commercial, you're going to question. Maybe 3 hours is where it's at. Maybe 3 hours is the best thing for WWE on Monday night. The answer and will ever be no. It will always be no. WWE simply did the right thing. 2 hours. Don't know what the logistics of it are. USA didn't want to pay for third hour, whatever the fucking case may be. This should be a celebration of 2 hours on Monday night. If they went and booked a good show the way that it needed to be booked, none of us would be sitting here asking for 3 hours on Monday night. You all got hosed. We got hosed. I don't know what went wrong. The fact that this show was commercial night Raw, the fact that Saudi Arabia's got Crown Jewel, and there's legitimately zero storyline aspect to anything going into that show. Maybe a little bit, but not much, because WWE is going to be focusing on the Survivor Series. WWE needed to come out and hit a home run tonight for 2 hours, and they fucking bombed. They bombed. Terribly. I don't know what else to say. Everybody asking for 3-hour Raw is simply crying because you don't know any better. Fact, and more fact. You're all crying because you don't know any better. You weren't there watching Monday Night Raw from the beginning. You weren't there during the fucking absolute torturous, just absolutely horrid, nightmarish days of 3-hour Vince Raws. You were not there when Triple H booked a 1-hour NXT show on the WWE Network that was better than anything at 2 or 3 hours. So spare me your bitching and your crying about 3 hours where it needs to be 3 hours. It doesn't. It needs to be good. Tonight wasn't good. That's it. That was it. The show felt rushed tonight. I don't like the direction that they took tonight. I don't. Everything felt rushed. Jey Uso just won the Intercontinental Championship 14 days ago. He defended against Xavier Woods tonight. Most of the match took place in a fucking commercial. We got a little bit of a sequence. They got to picture-in-picture. Nobody watches the picture-in-picture. Spare me the bullshit. I get up and I go do something else in the fucking living room, or I go into the kitchen and get myself a fucking coffee. Come back, the match is fucking over. Picture-in-picture is not watching the wrestling match. Picture-in-picture is nothing more than a fucking cheap excuse to keep the action going, but it's in a small box and you don't hear anything related to the fucking show. It's still a commercial. If I gotta hear commercials instead of Joe Tessitore, then I'm not watching Monday Night Raw. Jey Uso versus Xavier Woods felt like it started and then it was over. Rushed. Did they play out an angle at the end of the show? Sure. But you advertise a major title defense, the first title defense for Jey Uso since winning the title, and you rush through it to get to a Braun Breaker segment and Xavier Woods refusing to shake Jey Uso's hand. Goodbye. I don't really know how that gets me excited for what's to come, but the entire match should have been more than what it was, especially knowing that Jey Uso and Xavier Woods are wrestling for the Intercontinental title. Then we get an 8-woman tag team match. I don't know who asked for any of these women on a 3-hour show, but a 2-hour show just to get everyone involved gives you an 8-woman tag team match that nobody gives a shit about. I'm speaking directly to WWE when I say this. What is the urgency to include every single woman on the show because you're at 2 hours in an 8-woman tag team match? I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what people have been saying online, the lack of attention that people are paying in the venues every single week. Nobody cares. Legitimately, I promise you, no one cares. But you got to put them on the show, all 8 of them, because there's no spot for any of them unless we put them all together. Oh, nobody will complain. All 8 of them will be on the show. Yeah, you may think that's you saving your ass from the online criticism of social media, but it doesn't spare you from me, because I see right through that shit. Because you know who did that? Vince did that. I don't give a fuck about women's wrestling. Let me shut everybody up and put everybody in the same segment, in the same fucking match, so it looks like everybody's involved. Meanwhile, what does that do at the end of the night? Nobody gives a fuck. Everything feels rushed. Everybody's got to get their one big move in, and there's no rhyme or reason for anybody to fucking care. Then we get the main event. Sami Zayn and Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is a big deal. This is a big match. Sami, for 4 straight weeks, has been asking Gunther, why aren't you giving me a championship match, bro? Are you scared of me, bro? Why are you a coward, bro? I sound like my guy Vince Russo, bro. Why? 4 weeks. 4 weeks. That's the way you pay it off tonight? You blew through Sami Zayn and Gunther already twice, and I don't really give a shit to see it again. First was at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental Championship, which was a great match. This match actually had better story going into it than the one at WrestleMania did. And this match felt like another match that they put on the card to let everybody know that tonight's Raw at 2 hours has a big main event for the World Heavyweight Championship. Meanwhile, I had to sit through, what was it, Jesse? 7 minutes, 8 minutes of fucking commercial? Sure, they were in picture-in-picture, but again, a picture-in-picture does not constitute as it being okay. Then you wonder why fans are asking, well, why didn't this match take place on Bad Blood? Gee, I don't know, Paul. Maybe we should take away Nia and Bayley and Finn Balor versus Damian Priest and put the match that is more significant on the PLE. I gotta sit through a Gunther fucking match that's fucking riddled with 7 to 8 minutes of commercial. They just got back from commercial, and within 90 seconds, we go to another commercial. If I need car insurance, I'll go ask somebody else instead of Sony Bravia 65-inch. First, you leave off Gunther, off the bad blood card. Then you put him in a match that's riddled with 8 minutes of commercial. Gee, no wonder why people were dissatisfied with this fucking show. It's fucking ridiculous. 3-hour Monday Night Raws are supposed to be a thing of the past, at least for the next 3 months. I felt like I watched 3 hours of fucking commercial in a 2-hour Raw. Why? Why? Everybody says, oh, but Gunther and Sammy was a great match. What the fuck did you watch? I watched commercial. What the fuck did you watch? Yet there are people out there that will exclaim to me, they will fucking sit there and argue with me that Gunther and Sammy did not belong on the pay-per-view. Bullshit. Bullshit. Everybody with 20/20 vision, good eyesight, and hearing, you can tell that bad blood outside Punk McIntyre and outside that main event, the middle of that show was fucking boring. Boring. Was it bad? Listen, man, you're not going to sit there and tell me it was bad when we've when we sit through and been through fucking the worst of the worst. Was it good? Questionable. Questionable. But there's no excuse for what happened on Saturday coming on into Monday. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where the issue lies, but Saturday coming into Monday, you may clip it. For all the fucking people that say I'm not negative towards WWE and I'm a big-nosed Triple H cocksucker and all these memes, clip it. You fucking won't clip it because you're a bunch of fucking pussies. Clip it. Because I know you're fucking watching me. Saturday coming into Monday, the 2-day stretch that we've seen. This is the worst stretch that WWE's put on in 2024. Clip it. Clip it. You won't. I'll fucking clip it for you, bitch. Ridiculous. Set it on Sunday morning. Sat down after I got done with a great stream on Saturday, sat down on Sunday, had myself some apple crumble for breakfast and a fucking cup of coffee. And I sat with my iPad in front of me and I said, you know what? Let me get this out there to the fucking universe so that they know where I'm coming from. Saturday was an eye-opener. Saturday was an eye-opener. And I mean that because Saturday night, we got 2 massive main events. Massive main events. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre put on one of the best Hell in the Cell performances in company history. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns teamed up for the first time, and we saw the return of The Rock. Kevin Owens attacked Cody Rhodes in the parking lot. Yes, I'm aware. And now we have something to look forward to on Friday. What is Randy going to say? Why did Kevin do what he did? Is The Rock going to be there? Are we going to get an explanation? What's the 3 fingers for? What does Cody have to say? Is Roman going to be there? There's a lot going on right now. More so than on Monday, believe it or not. But I said it on Saturday. said it on Sunday morning again. WWE and their PLEs, 5 matches. Nobody has a problem with the 5 matches. Nobody. If you do, you're brainwashed. If you do, you're probably an AEW dick rider who doesn't know the fucking difference between quality and quantity. Nobody wants to sit there and watch a Tony Khan fucking circle jerk for 15 fucking matches at 6 hours. Nobody gives a fuck. 6 hours, by the way, that don't breathe. We end one match and the next guy's walking down the fucking aisle while the competitors in the ring that just wrestled are leaving the fucking ring. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants it. Nobody asks for it. Tony Khan has this fucking thing where he needs to get as much pro wrestling on one show than anybody. Nobody has a problem with the 5 matches. It's what you put into the 5 matches. This was very apparent on Sunday, following Bad Blood. I don't give a fuck who you are or what you think of how I operate. I have always been 100% upfront and honest with you. If you want to call me racist, if you want to call me sexist, if you want to call me anything that your heart desires, it all comes from a good place because all I care about is a good fucking show at the end of the night. Saturday barely crossed the line of being good, and you can thank Punk and McIntyre for it. There is absolutely zero, and I mean zero fucking reason why Nia Jax and Bayley are on that pay-per-view. Zero. There is absolutely zero reason why Finn Balor and Damian Priest are on that pay-per-view. Zero. Nia Jax and Bayley could have been saved for Friday. Either the go-home show or the show following the pay-per-view. Finn Balor and Damian Priest had no championship on the line. We got the fucking win by Damian Priest. His battle with the Judgment Day is all but over. We got interference as per usual with the Judgment Day, and they went 11 minutes. You couldn't do that 11 minutes on Monday Night Raw? That's what you kept Braun Breaker, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Gunther off the pay-per-view for. I'm even going to include Sheamus and Pete Dunne because that's been a feud that's been great on Monday night. You left off 3 of those matches for Nia fucking Jax and Bayley, Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Glorified television matches. Nobody in that company realized what they were doing. You look at that card and say, yeah, man, that's it. Yeah, let me charge $900 a ticket, come out there and gloat that this is the largest selling arena show in WWE history again for the 5th fucking time this year, and then give me something that was less than premium. I think we need to go back and reassess. That's what we need to do. If you didn't have Punk and McIntyre to open the fucking show and give us a performance of a lifetime, I'm not really sure you can get away with calling it premium. Because it's not. If you're going to deliver a pay-per-view, because that's exactly what it is, and call it a premium live event, you better fucking make it premium. Nia Jax and Bayley are not fucking premium. Damian Priest and Finn Balor and the fucking middle-of-the-road feud that they got going on is not fucking premium. Sami Zayn and Gunther didn't need to be riddled with fucking 8 minutes of commercials. That is premium. That should have been on Bad Blood. Braun Breaker and Jey Uso, that doesn't need to be on Monday Night Raw with fucking 8 minutes of commercial. That is premium. Sheamus and Pete Dunne. I'm even going to mention my guy Andrade and Carmelo. They don't deserve a pay-per-view match after the fucking work that they've given us 6 times. And what about my guy, LA Knight? Why isn't he on a pay-per-view when he's one of the biggest baby faces in the entire industry? Never mind WWE. He's not premium.